Evening, everybody. Now, as you can see right here, this screen is black. Now, why is it black? I have no freaking idea. It is just black. I've got everything plugged in, and I'm just sitting here looking at a screen. So I think that tonight might just be just chatting. But honestly, I feel good about that right now. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but sometimes the universe throws you a curveball, and you just have to say, "All right, I'll take that to the jaw." So here it is. So, but how's everybody doing tonight? Now, I think first off, full disclosure, I think that maybe I messed it up because I wanted to play Warzone tonight. But again, as anybody who's been here over the course of the past week and a half or so knows, I had to delete Warzone off of my Xbox so that I could play Cold War. Wait, week and a half? No, it's been a few weeks, hasn't it? How many weeks has it been since Season 6 started up? Whatever the case is. Whenever Season 6 started, that's when I bought Cold War for my Xbox. But then I had to delete Warzone off my Xbox so that Cold War could fit. So right now, I have a black screen. I unhooked it to hook in my PS4. And lo and behold, nothing is showing up anymore. I just have a black screen. And and literally, it's just like it's taking an HDMI cable and plugging it into the capture card. The same spot where it's always been plugged in. So, whatever the case is, though, I'm just here drinking water and staying hydrated, and I just finished up my workout. So, so everybody who's here right today, we got Bob, we got Mystique, we got Fajardi. How you doing, Fajardi, man? And now I'm going to take a stab in the dark. I'm going to say that they've been able to resolve the issue where you can't take models from, where you can't take in-game models. I think what was it, Greyhound? Where you couldn't take models out of the game and to be able to do fan renders and stuff like that. I'm hoping that they've got that issue addressed because there was a lot of cool stuff that came out this past year as a result of people being able to do that, and I hope that people can do it again. So, and then there is ADL, man. How you been since yesterday? Again, like full disclosure right now, everybody, anybody who might be dropping in right now, I don't think I'm going to be able to play any games tonight. But sometimes I like to just be able to sit down, relax, take stock of things, and count my many blessings. I've got water, and there's a lot of people in the world who don't have clean water, so I guess that's blessing number one. Blessing number two is Elf Fudge cookies, which are actually really good. They are right up there with the fudge stripes and with the not chicken and a biscuit. That's a different animal. Different sport, really. I mean, if snacks were sports, then chicken and a biscuit would be, say, professional. Would be say the NFL, and Nabisco / Keebler would probably be something more along the lines of the NBA. Now, who would be hockey? Hockey would belong to the subsection of potato chip type snacks, or just like bagged snacks like Cheetos and stuff like that. But hockey would be like a subset of those snacks. And I would probably say that the different snacks that belong in that category would be like Takis, Flamin' Hot Cheetos with limon. I'm not a big fan of normal Flaming Hot Cheetos. They have to have the limon in it. So, Tuxport, gross. And besides, I can't dunk them in there anyway. So, Mystique gifting off 2 tiers, even though I'm not playing any games tonight. Thank you so much, Mystique. And I can't even know. I don't even know why. Like, my plan was if people were awake, then to ask some people to jump in and do some Rebirth with me, because I've been missing Rebirth. Maybe if I do live screen, let's see. Maybe it'll fix it. No, I guess not. Maybe if I... Oh, wait, that's... Okay, yeah, see, so it's just like OBS Link just it doesn't even want to start up. OBS Link just doesn't want to start up at all. So... I wonder... I might have a solution. Bear with me, everybody. I got this switcher for a reason. So, anyway, though, everybody just go ahead and chat away. And I'm going to see if I can't make this magic work. Let's see, there's that. I need the special plug. Let's see, move this over to the side. It's called pragmatism, everybody. And I'm just like balls deep in pragmatism. Maybe. Where's that box? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Yeah, this room's a mess. Oh, I need to clean it up. Is it in here? Nope. Put that back up there. What I'm looking for is I have a set of plugs for this switcher, but it's like they wanted to make it compatible with plugs everywhere. So I have to find the plug that is compatible with the US. And that is in the box that it came in. Where the hell? Let's see. And it's like, the funny thing is that you find these things whenever you don't need them, but then when you need them, it's impossible. Let's see, it's not there. I wonder if it's under here. I would angle the camera over this way, but then I feel like that would be introducing too many variables in the equation, and I feel like it would just screw everything up. So, wonder if it's under here. And shit, nothing there. Okay. Searching. Okay, so I guess maybe I'm not as smart, or at least the solution wasn't as incredible as I thought it would be. I thought I'd just be able to walk right over to the box and say, here it is. Damn. Wait. My question is, why in the hell would I have just attached it in the first place? I wonder what happens. Maybe that just like works with cameras. I wonder what would happen if I output to something. Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. Hey, you know what? Nima... I'm going to just call you Nima. Thank you so much for the follow, especially considering the fact that absolute jack shit's going on right now. Except for EO Fudge. But I don't know. I have no idea what is happening or why this is going on. All I know is that it upsets me. So maybe if I go to intermission, find a nice picture to put behind me. So there's that. Let's see what photos I might have. Yeah, okay, I'll just upload this. May as well. Image. Yeah. I'll just load this up. Like right there, so people can make the connection. Because I just wonder how many people don't even realize that I'm Stitch. Here we are at the end of the year, and a lot of people I'm sure have no idea that I was actually Stitch. So, that's okay. That's okay. There. Oh, but it can't be over top of that image. Size it up even more. There we go. So that people can see. Oh, it mirrors it. Okay, yeah, well, at the very least, you guys can see my eyes, right? Because Stitch and stuff like that. Season 6 Warzone loading screen? No, that one right there, that was a render. Let's see here. Bruno just dropped in with a raid. How you doing, Bruno? So, Bruno, right now, I did my best to be able to drop in to Rebirth. And I don't know why. It's like if... There we go. So I don't know why. It's like if I exit OBS Link in order to be able to restart it again, just because that's what you do with software that isn't behaving properly, then it doesn't want to start back up. And that's the situation that I'm in right now. It just doesn't want to start back up. So, hey, dude, Bruno, I just barely saw that, and that's incredible. Those emotes. So, Mystique came in with him first. I love him. So, but yeah, so the Season 6 loading screen, I believe, was just 100% renders. In fact, this right here is the only, that's the only live action, fully, Season 1, Season 1 was, up close, but even then, because the mask obscured so much, that was computer rendered. So it's most of it was computerized anyway. So, but this is the first time that the majority of the shot, as far as the operators are concerned, was live action. So, Divine Killer 420, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for dropping in. Especially since, again, I'm not going to be able to play tonight because I don't know. And I've just given up trying to diagnose problems with things that I don't, this is what happens when it's late. Trying to diagnose things or problems with things that I don't know that much about. I have an operating knowledge I have an operational knowledge of OBS and of streaming technology. But when I run into shit like this, the only solution that I know is to just outright start the entire system. And my Mac's been giving me crap. So, wait, is that 25 viewers in the upper left-hand corner? How many viewers do I have right now? Jeez. Anyway, and all I am doing is just talking. So, but yeah, so anyway, coming back to what I was saying, this right here is the only like full-blooded live-action shot that I've seen this year, and everybody was there with the exception of Ghost. There we go. With the exception of Ghost, and the guy in this shot right here, his name is Jammer, over on Instagram at Jammer Actual, and he's a pretty badass dude. I love Jammer. And then I never actually met him. But the funny thing is he only lives like a half hour south from me. So, he's nearby, but I've never actually met him. So he wasn't in this shot either. And you can kind of see the color temperature differences as well, because, they're like a really warm color temperature, and they were shot like the year before. I can hurry in. So then the other people in the shot, she was there. Trung was there. He plays Naga. And then Michelle was there, and Byron was there. Though the only people who were in this shot were with me were Michelle, Trung, and myself. And then in a separate shot where the groups and stuff, were taking place. So it was separated out into good guy operators and bad guy operators. And the other group had Jenny here as Revis, Byron here, and then they weren't there. So, but it was pretty cool. And then we just had other big group shots. So, and then this shot right here was just me, just like repeating it, just like, and reach, hold, click, 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 back, reach, click, click, click. So, and the funny thing is that I knew exactly what sort of shot they were going for, so I was able to give them exactly what they were asking for. Now the RPD did not look like that. It was just a plain Woodforger RPD. Hey, and thank you, Fantastic. I actually haven't seen the video yet. I need to go see the video. I've had a very busy couple of weeks. Last week, ADL. Yeah, Byron does do a ton of work with TacGas. TacGas lately, like they used to. First off, they're awesome. Like I love all the guys at TacGas. You have so TacGas is run by a guy named Jim Staley, and Jim is a badass. I love Jim, and he's hilarious too. But he's like Jim's a former Marine and started up TacGas as sort of a small business, and then he was able to utilize his contacts that he made throughout his military career, and was able to leverage those contacts into actually building an overall business, and really. What he's been able to do with his business with TacGas is he's been able to become the de facto provider of tactical related multimedia services throughout the tactical industry, as well as to companies, as well as subcontracting to companies like the company that does the marketing for COD. So, like the company that does the marketing for COD is called Petrol, and Petrol subcontracted TacGas to be able to do all this stuff. So, as they got bigger, like originally, they a lot of times they pulled from the same pool of people. ADL. You've been using a lot of the stuff that Jim has sent over from TacGas. They've done a lot of cool stuff. Like one of my favorite locations is Nuke Plant. I won't tell you guys where it is. I mean, anybody with Google would be able to, but I'm not going to say where the location is. But one of my favorite locations is Nuke Plant, and in fact, you guys would probably be able to see Zedra uses a lot of the photos from Zedra uses a lot of the photos that she took when she was doing the stuff for Mara. When she was doing the stuff for Mara up at Nuke Plant. And yeah, dude, ADL. So then you know what I'm talking about. Nuke Plant is a badass site. Hands down, probably the coolest location that they've ever found. And I mean, and they've been working on oil rigs and stuff. So Nuke Plant is hands down my favorite location, and I wish that there's a lot of really cool photos. Like, again, that was like the shining star from that shoot was Zedra. There was this one where she was at the very top of one of the silos, and it is just one of the coolest. It's like one of the coolest vantage points I've ever seen in a photo. It's just like, I mean, it's fucking high. So. But Nuke Plant, incredible. There's so many different locations, and there's so many levels to it that it's just, you can do so much stuff there. So, but what they do is that, they cycle through a bunch of different locations, and it's just a bunch of awesome guys who are just really good at what they do, really good with guns. Another guy, and you guys have heard me talk about him before. Another guy is named and I only use their call signs. I don't use their real names. It's like Jammer. Jammer's not his real name. But another guy, his name is Ink, and Ink is a badass. And an ADL, you would be seeing actually I'm not sure how much stuff that you've looked at, but there's quite a bit of stuff with Ink in them. So like if you guys look at let's see if I can find the photo. In fact, just so I'm not screwing around too much with this stuff. Let's see here. Modern Warfare 2019. So I'll just come into images. So here's a few funny things. First off, the main image, the main cover for Modern Warfare 2019, the head is Barry Sloan. Neck down is Jammer. So the guy who is Ghost is also Price from the neck down on the cover. Now I saw but when they dressed Jammer up for Price, you guys should have seen him. Like, he looked like, anybody here who played the original Modern Warfare, so Modern Warfare 1 through 3, I mean, as far as I know, I never signed anything. It's just, but no, it's just like, he was a badass. Do you guys remember what, like, grumpy hardcore Price looked like? That's what it looked like. It looked like real world Price, like no frills, nothing, just hard fucking core Price, like the kind of, this is the Price that beat Makarov to death and then hung him. You guys should have seen it. It was immaculate. It was cool. But you guys, here's the thing, without you guys even knowing it, Jammer has shown up you guys have seen Jammer a lot without even knowing it. So, like, here is, so does anybody, let's see. So do you guys remember this image right here? Okay, it's out of focus, but out of focus, can you guys tell which image this is from Modern Warfare? From the Modern Warfare marketing? Because this guy right here leading the stack is also Jammer. Yeah, so this guy leading the stack right here is also Jammer. So Jammer is Ghost, Jammer is this guy right here, and Jammer is Price on the cover from the neck down. So Jammer is in quite a few places, and nobody knows. So it's the guy's just good at what he does. So, Arena, yeah, Jammer is just an outright good guy. He's a great guy. He's hardcore. He's fantastic when it comes to the tactical games. And he's got a badass dog named Rex. Now, you guys would recognize Rex as the Call of Duty dog, like the one that, like the very first iteration where you're just kind of walking along. And in fact, if anybody here follows Alex Zedra, you would have seen her in some photos with Jammer, as well as with his dog Rex. But I also want to show you guys another guy who you see quite a bit is this guy right here. Do you guys recognize this photo? Let's see. Do you guys recognize this photo? This photo right here is Ink. This is Ink right here. And Ink is probably the biggest badass I have ever met. He's like, 5'7", 5'8". I mean, not big, muscular build, completely unassuming, but he is more hardcore than anybody I have ever met in my life. I mean, he's the kind of guy who just... if there's a job that needs to be done, it's fucking Ink who you send in to do it. He's a badass. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but I freaking love Ink. He's hilarious. Darkest sense of humor I have ever heard in my entire life, and that's what makes him so spectacular. But he's also the calling card. I forget what it is. So there's like a Frank Woods one where there's like sparks going across the flank, going across the calling card and stuff. And that was also Ink. And they like shopped the beard onto him and everything. So Bernie, that would actually be pretty hardcore. I would love to see something like that. And that's the thing. Wait a second. This just barely registered with me. Bruno, are you saying that there's a placeholder for a Stitch skin to release on November 4th? Are you saying that there is a placeholder for a Stitch skin to release on November 4th? Holy fuck. There can only be one skin. There's only one skin that I know of that actually exists that hasn't released. Can anybody tell me what skin that is? Anybody? There's only one. So unless there's another one that I don't know about. Oh, everybody, this might be... November 4th might be the fucking day. November 4th might be the day that we get to see shirtless Stitch. Again, it could be another skin. Maybe it's another Mad Max. I don't know. But Halloween is over. Oh, Pirate King. I wish it was maskless Stitch. I don't think so though. I'm pretty sure it's going to be okay. So, let's go to window capture. Have to give it permission. Oh, come on, seriously? Show windows with empty names. Microsoft Defender. Oh, here we go. Oh, good, didn't shit the bed. All right, everybody, here's the tweet. I guess more bundles are going to be added later this season. A date for November 4th was recently added for this placeholder Stitch bundle. Fuck yes! Okay. Okay, I need to... Oh, dang it. It's just the same tactical mask thing that we saw. Buy a bundle for 9,999 COD points. $100. Let's see. Let's see if people are talking shit on it. Let's see here. I'm guessing Season 6 Reloaded. Season 6.5 bundles. Yeah, more things are planned to be dropping, especially an anime pack. Could you imagine an anime pack? Oh, somebody tagged me in it too. Like, oh, okay, I have to log in to do it. Oh, there's a lot. There's two people. Oh, guys, color me pumped. Color me pumped. Finally, a Stitch bundle. People talking up Stitch. Oh, it's Sewells. I love you, Sewells. There we go. Okay, everybody. Do you want to remove window capture? Okay. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. Now, even... Could you imagine if it's going to... Like Rena, do you know for sure, or are you just, like, taking a guess? Well, actually, you know what? Everything's a reactive skin nowadays. I'd be surprised if it wasn't a reactive skin. Dude, Bernie... I mean... I know that people are saying the same thing about Cold War, but me personally, I'm just thinking that I personally would have liked to have another year as Stitch. I mean, because I know that people are going to be. I know that people are. I mean, there's like people who were in Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare were able to do it for a couple of years, but I feel like. Dude, World War II Stitch would be pretty dope. Like the who was it? It was Richtofen. A last gen Richtofen, I believe, who made the maskless Stitch first off, and then in the Soviet uniform, it was badass. Comes out the day before Vanguard. Guys, I'm really hoping that it's shirtless Stitch. I mean, well, and that's the thing, is that we know that shirtless Stitch exists. We've seen shirtless Stitch glitch into the multiplayer screen, or into the character select screen. And the model exists in the game. Like those tattoos, those weren't part of the original model. Those tattoos were, those tattoos were, that was hidden knowledge. And now they're they're out in the ether, they're in the open. And then it's just all of a sudden loading up the way that it was. Now, the fact that the skin was loading up with just my arms, because the one model was modeled all the way up to here, and then you had the chest and stuff modeled separately. And then you had, and then just because the way that everything else was, is like the head was a little bit separate. But, yeah, so I personally believe that it is most likely going to be shirtless Stitch. I mean, again, I don't want to get my hopes up, because I don't want my hopes to be dashed when it ends up not being, if it ends up not being shirtless Stitch. But I know that shirtless Stitch exists. So, fingers freaking crossed. So, Kitsune has back tattoos in it. I know that there's a lot of people who would be like, yep. So April did the Rose stuff a while back. So it's like she knew that it existed. That's the funny thing. Like a lot of people were asking, who the hell is that other chick on the cover alongside Lurch? And it's April. So it's like I knew that So it's just like we knew that there was going to be a face model, or we knew that there was going to be a maskless Rose because maskless Rose was on the season 5 poster. It's just a lot of people didn't know it. And just what that communicates to me is the fact that they planned on releasing maskless Rose a long time ago, but they decided to hold off. Oh yeah, no, he is a badass. Really great dude. But yeah, so it was like we knew that the maskless Rose was going to be released and that it existed. It's just the question was, when was it going to be released? And I was actually surprised that it released as late as it did. I think what it was is that I'm not sure what the strategy is. Just kind of like, I mean, because like I felt like Soap would have been released to greater fanfare than it was, just because people were just like really, like, people were so psyched about Soap, and then he just kind of like appeared overnight. So it's just like, yeah, we knew that there was a maskless Rose. April was scanned and everything. We just didn't know when it would be when it would be released. So, and then all of a sudden, when it starts glitching into the game, then that's when you know that that's when you know 100% that it exists and that it's completely put together. So yeah, so it's like I'm not sure what the strategies were. But yes, like and that's what I think that it was. Like Rudy's was delayed, Soap's was delayed, and then I think and then Jade's, like, her last skin released just a couple months ago, like a month or so ago, wasn't it? So, and that's the interesting thing. I mean, you guys see, maybe, like, honestly, what I wonder is if they're going to be releasing. It seems like they support the game, like each previous COD, for a year, like up to a year after the next COD releases. So it's like they're supporting it as though it has a 2-year life cycle, even though they're releasing COD every single year. So, and I personally believe that that's a good thing. I personally believe that's a good thing. So it's like, because people are talking about like wait another year for another COD to release, but I think one of the reasons why a lot of people aren't psyched on Vanguard, is just because, I mean, it's a different flavor. And I think what it is just that World War II multiplayer isn't as like, people aren't as hyped on World War II multiplayer as they are on, say, more modern CODs. So again, it's just a different flavor of COD. You have like 3 flavors right now. You have chocolate with Modern Warfare and strawberry with Black Ops, and then you have I don't know, almond. Let's say almond ice cream with World War II with Vanguard. So then you put them all together. What do you get? You get yourself Spumoni, and Spumoni is actually really good ice cream. I highly recommend it. You can get it at the Spaghetti Factory actually, or maybe the Spaghetti Factory, not Cheesecake Factory, Spaghetti Factory. So, I think that's really what it is. So it's like, even though there's a COD releasing every single year, each COD still is getting 2 years worth of support. Like Modern Warfare has, got 2 years of support. So I personally believe that we're going to be getting 2 years of support with Black Ops. Now the story is going to conclude. We know that. But that doesn't mean that that's going to be the end of the content. So that's why I'm saying there is a chance. There is a chance that the skin that's going to be releasing for Stitch on November 4th isn't the shirtless Stitch. That also means that there's a chance we might get maskless Stitch. Because like once once the story's over, it's just like, I mean, like, if you look at it from a business standpoint, if you have something that you can make money off of and releasing it won't damage the brand, then why not release it? I mean, it's just like, if it exists, then why not release it? We know that my face exists under the mask, and all you have to do is, maybe pull some gear from over here, pull some gear from over there, and reskin, say, like the prisoner uniform a little bit, and then all of a sudden you have yourself a new Stitch skin, maskless, and I would be perfectly okay with that. Now, and I still find it crazy that I was modeled under the mask, without like if there wasn't a plan to actually remove it. And dude, ADL man, thank you so much for dropping in. And it actually, I honestly think that it's pretty cool that that you've seen the nuke plant stuff, because there's a lot of stuff again that I mean, it's like I haven't seen a lot of it just because like you probably won't see any photos of me. In fact, you more than likely won't see any photos of me. But the stuff from Nuke Plant was it's really cool, and there's very few people in the world who I can who actually like. I'll say something, and there's very few people in the world who would actually be able to say, "Dude, I know what you're talking about," and that's hardcore. So, so it's pretty awesome that you've been able to work with some of that material. But dude, it's good having you in here, and I'll see you next time. Bruno, you have no idea how happy it makes me to hear that there is that placeholder for Stitch, because I've wanted another Stitch skin, and it's just like, and I love the ones that I've gotten. Like, and I have to say thank you, massive thank you to Mystique for giving and Dan for giving me the first off the Mad Max skin from Dan, and then Genie Stitch or Deathstroke Stitch from Mystique. And to know that there is another Stitch skin coming out on November 4th makes me very happy. And because I like to cycle through them. I like to cycle back and forth. Oh, Steve, I would love that. Just like me sitting in a room, just like, okay, guys, I want this skin and this skin and this skin. Put this pouch right here and give this guy a rope. And I would have a lot of fun doing that. Probably more fun than I should. Yeah, Mystique. I was telling people, like, so basically, here's how we got onto the subject. So we were talking about the Stitch skin that is apparently slated for November 4th, and it's going to be added to the store at that time, a new Stitch skin. And at this moment, there is only one Stitch skin that I know of, and it's shirtless Stitch. So I'm really hoping that is shirtless Stitch. And so then I was saying, now I'll be able to have another Stitch skin to go to, because I typically cycle between prisoners, like the prisoner skin, Mad Max Stitch, and Genie Stitch / Deathstroke Stitch, the one that you gave me. And I said that Mystique gifted me this bundle, and I've loved it. So that's what we were talking about, you. And not to mention just your prolific sub gifting. That's one thing I am going to start doing, is I'm going to start, I'm still kind of figuring out when I'm going to be doing it, but running sub only chats, just so that there's an additional benefit to actually being a sub. The golden one too. Yeah. Oh yeah. See, I bought that one. Like, that was one that I bought. And it was actually a really good deal too, because you bought it for $20 and then you got another 2,400 COD points. So it was a pretty solid deal. And then I ran those Mastercrafts for quite a while. Oh, fantastic. And I would too. I don't know if I'll get the call back, but which again, I've been making the most of it. I've been making the most of it right now. And know what the crazy thing is that if they were to have somebody else come in and do Stitch, it's like, I would be okay with that. It's like, it's been a straight year of all this Stitch stuff. And now if I were to get called again, I would freaking love it. I would absolutely love to do it again. But, if I don't, and if I did, I would knock it out of the park. You guys know that I would. But, if I don't, then that's that. I had a great run, and there's other things that I'm working on. because that was one thing that I really knew from the get-go was that me landing, getting this role, me getting this part. That was like this is like a one in a how many millions of a chance. Really, I mean, like out of nowhere getting this. And it wasn't just for like some random character, it was for the main bad guy. I mean, like, and when you look at the way that the world works, when you look at the way that the world works, just the possibility of having just a place in Call of Duty just drop out of nowhere. To be able to have a part in Call of Duty just drop out of nowhere and say, "Hey, do you want to do this?" That shit doesn't happen. That, I mean, like, to anybody. Like this, like the way that it happened to me, it's not like it really happens that way to anybody else. It was just out of nowhere, and again, Mystique gifting 5 more subs to everybody, and again, that's why I'm going to start running I'm going to run sub only gift or run sub only chats, because there has to be that added benefit. There's like, I want to make it as worth the subscription as possible. So I'm going to start running. So I believe that a lot of the streams that I'm going to be running, the chat is going to be sub only. So, Mystique, you are a sweetheart. Hey, you know what? Fantastic, and I really hope so too. I would really love to be able to suit up in a motion capture suit, go on and actually just cut loose, and get angry. Because Stitch is angry, and like my resting face. Let me just relax really quick. Just that's like the Stitch look. Like it's almost like default Stitch look is almost like he's like slightly crazy. Just now the rest of my face kind of has that look on it, but then with the mask there, like you can't see the rest of my face. But just like, if I just relax and I make some good angry faces. Because my default expression is angry, even though I'm not angry at all. Okay. So like one of the expressions is like they call it the Call of Duty look. So like this is my Call of Duty look. They're just like, they're standing at the menu, just like, yeah. So like this is how it goes. Just like imagine like wait, watch this. Let's see. Let's go to. Whenever I think of like menus, like I think of the Modern Warfare soundtrack. Like I love the Cold War soundtrack, but like when I think of Warzone, when Warzone first started, I think of this. Like this is the song that comes to mind for me. So let me get to the point where it's like standing at the main menu, just kind of like looking around. So this is the song that was playing in my head as I was doing all these expressions. Sure. See, here we go. See, like, so imagine me holding a gun, just. See, I can do multiplayer menu. Just. I will kick you in the nuts. For Mother Russia. Kiss my ass. Anger face. Honestly, guys, though, how awesome! it's like I know that a lot of people just like would think that, oh, you know, it's like I can only talk up Cold War. But honestly, it's just like, how awesome was the soundtrack to Modern Warfare? I wish I could meet her, but freaking Sarah Schachner just kicked ass with it. I love the Modern Warfare soundtrack. Oh yeah, so it's just like, but it's like the Call of Duty face. That's what they call it. Or it's just like, I don't know, like maybe like different studios call it differently, but it's like on the list it says, you know, do your Call of Duty face, and that's my Call of Duty face. It's kind of like angry / determined. So it's kind of grimmed. See? And also like throw a smile into theirs. And there's another one. This is the hardest one for me to do. So yeah, so and that's the thing. That's what I run into a lot. Like I have to make active efforts to actually make sure that I don't look like I'm just like the angriest son of a bitch you've ever met in your life. Because, you know, here's my resting face.